welcome to another episode of Kill James Bond. I am November Kelly. I am joined, as always, by my friends Abigail Thorne and Devon.
Hello!
Cowabunga.
It's Fast Five.
It's Five.
It's Fast Five.
Okay, so this, and this is the turn, unfortunately. This is the point where the series crystallizes into the form that it will take through to the end, which is...
Hamburger Shonen.
Hamburger Shonen.
But this is the worst one yet.
Big guys doing big heists. The cars are barely relevant. They're just in it.
That was the part I didn't like. There's a part where they have an illegal street racer and they just do it off screen. And I'm like,
It's so fucked.
That was the best bit. Come on.
Yeah. I think it's really crucial, right? Having seen these films in order to know that they began as Point Break, right? Which is...
Yeah, right?
We investigate a subculture, right? Tokyo Drift, we investigate a subculture brackets Japan, right? And now we're here into the start of the bloat, like me turning 30, right? Where it's like you just know it's downhill from here, and it's just like the problems that are gonna get worse are sort of like settling in.
It's
right?
it's like Ocean's Avengers. It's just slop. Slop is the word.
This is heist season, though. This is robbery season.
It's become heists. This is heist.
This is they realized that a heist movie could be fun to do. I had a difficult time with this one for a couple of reasons, and I just want to say up front, like, honestly, a huge thank you to the listeners for facilitating me having a job that finances like my rent and an ever-growing polycule, because I'm struggling sometimes, right? I'm sick all the fucking time. I watched this with my head balanced on a Pyrex bowl, right?
Sweetie.
It's hard, right? And this is a very
I would have
flexible...
used a pillow, but okay.
No, just needed to be more uncomfortable, I guess.
Okay.
But like, this was a really kind of... this is a job that is flexible enough to allow me to be horrifically unwell all the time and hopefully still put out a quality product. So thank you for that. But it did kind of impinge on my viewing of Fast Five.
You might have watched this through a little bit of a I'm having a bad day lens.
Well, I was having a good day, but I'm also somebody who's frequently just like extremely unwell, but never physically. And I also did not have a great time.
I also get the mental kind. I think the thing is, as Jean-Paul Sartre said, right, like the kind of like modern conditions and the kind of repugnance of modern life can cause a kind of nausea, which was what I was thinking about for a lot of this. I experienced this as a very kind of gastric phenomenon, this film.
I think you're possibly the only person ever to have thought about Jean-Paul Sartre whilst watching The Fast and the Furious 5.
Someone hasn't seen the behind-the-scenes interviews with The Rock, because that guy went deep into character preparation.
That's really funny.
I believe it, actually. I did enjoy The Rock's performance in this.
Yeah, he's doing an accent in this as well sometimes when he remembers.
He is.
He's doing a great accent.
Accents are hard.
I watched
Accents
this
are hard.
Sound of Body and Mind 2 times because I was too sleepy the first time, and I realized with some horror this morning that I didn't remember what happened in Fast Five, and that I should probably find out. So I watched it today, and it wasn't great on the second watching, but the final sequence was unfortunately I wrote the word awesome, and I really did like the final season.
It was shit. But anyway,
well, we'll get to that.
Get there. As is the first sequence, because we begin exactly where the previous film left off.
We fucking do.
This is a good way of doing a sequel.
Dom Toretto, you are in Palestine action. You're going to prison for 5,000 years. Get on the meat wagon.
And they do. He gets on a bus to prison in the orange jumpsuits that they make them wear in the fascist United States.
If you subscribe to the Patreon, killjamesbond.com, you would know from our previous episode, Duel, that the bus cousin to the truck, ally to the truck, and as such, the natural predator of the truck, the Fast and Furious family,
a pack of cars,
approach this helpless, innocent prison bus, which is merely trying to drive down the road from one battle after another. It is crazy how it's the same road.
It's always that road.
Yeah. And they do some epic car gymkhana Travis Pastrana shit. And
I'm not entirely sure what they do here, because they they harangue the truck like killer whales around a sort of wounded whale calf, and then they force the truck to bump into the back of Paul Walker's Dodge, which you'd think would somehow like instantly obliterate Paul Walker and his entire like neck vertebrae, but it actually causes the truck to flip 1 billion times. Or the bus?
Actually causing the truck to fly into the air and roll sideways down the road for like several full rotations.
Yeah,
and I'm looking at this and I'm
everyone
thinking,
inside.
every single person in that truck is dead. They are so dead.
So a lot of the people in that are in shackles on their wrists and ankles, and are therefore like all of their leg and arm bones are just been
we talked about this before. Is being in a car crash wearing handcuffs good for you, right? And apparently, if you're Dom Toretto, right, because
we get some news footage, which is just like 26 high-risk inmates all escaped. All were recaptured. Nobody was killed except Dom Toretto, who is the mastermind.
Amazingly, no fatalities is one of these newscasters' lines, and I would like to say,
bollocks.
Fuck off.
You launched that thing into the fucking stratosphere. That prison bus was like the first astronaut of the Los Angeles County prison system. It's like... No, absolutely not.
At the very least, some of the people on that bus have received like mild medical treatment for sprains and are therefore now completely bankrupt and homeless.
2, 3, 4, 5 full rotations.
Yeah. Dominic Toretto is a soup-like homogenate at this point. They're scraping into
there's no chance, dude.
How good would that be as like a radical turn at the start of this movie there, where they try and rescue him and they just kill him?
Shit.
We killed Dom. Oh, fuck. Anyway.
When you think that the video game has essential NPCs on and it just doesn't, you know?
Yeah.
Like, persist in the doomed world you've created.
Yeah.
That's really good. So I'll make that edit.
And the doomed world we've created for ourselves is Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, because one of the newscasters goes, we can't find them anywhere in the United States. They could be anywhere. And we get the classic, the Saint...
Christ the Redeemer.
That's him. El Cristo Redentor.
T-posing Jesus of Rio. Brazilian drift. Rio de Janeiro drift.
This is original Jesus as opposed to car Jesus, who is Dom. We're going to lean hard into that, right?
He is car Jesus.
One thing I do want to note very quickly is in this news coverage, one of the newscasters says, despite every eye in the country looking for them, where they are is anyone's guess. And I just have to say, that border software from the last movie that alerts you 10 minutes after the guy leaves just keeps paying off.
Just like, Mark, we've got to get less latency on that system. We are trying so desperately.
Also, the thing is, they're there in their cars, the same cars, which suggests that they drove from the US to South America, the reverse pluribus.
That's really funny to do the whole way down.
Hell yeah.
Just drifting through the Darien Gap. 100%.
That's gotta be fun.
So Paul Walker, pedophile,
the Panama Canal,
and Mia Toretto, they're a couple now, and they go to this like rough-looking neighborhood.
The favela from Call of Duty.
They go they go straight to the Call of Duty favela. Yeah,
Roids, motorbike, tranny on the back.
You still have the favela, etc. So did you hear that they had a really like bad end, but like she's doing good now. Like she's dating women now. I think. Like,
nice. Well, good.
Yeah.
See you at the next live show, I guess.
God, next live show in Brazil.
Fans in Brazil. Hell yeah.
Kill James Brazil.
Kill James Bond live in Rio? Fuck yeah, I'm tempted.
We should do this. We should
do it even if like no one comes. We should try to just put a show on and just say we did it regardless.
Shows that are basically just tax dodges for holidays at this point. Yeah.
Yes.
That's allowed.
That's kind of what I do.
And
who do we meet? Who do we meet in the favela?
Yeah, Spider from Avatar, which really surprised me.
No, it's Fat Mac from Always Sunny, who was in the first one.
There is Fat Mac's back, baby. It's Vince Toretto, Dom's brother.
He's not his brother. He's just Vince. He's just a dude. He's his metaphorical brother. He's his brother in Christ.
Fat Mac became a Brazilian drug lord just off screen, which is a beautiful... Anyone can be Brazilian, right? Like, that's the Brazilian dream.
That's right.
Like, and he's there. He's saying, and I had to do some research for this line, you can get a plate of feijoada and a caipirinha for $5.99 girafas viado.
Well done. But he's cool now. He's chill. Him and Paul Walker have this bit that's like, and then it turns out he has a wife and a kid now.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that we get to see his wife. I like that we get to see his kid. I like as well that they're both black, and we see like black motherhood and like black childhood as like, you know, like a positive sort of grounding force that is making Fat Mac a better person.
Yes,
right? Like,
yes.
This is good. I like this. I wish he hadn't have said the thing about the feijoada. You know, it was very homophobic, but like. He's still grown as a person.
Yeah, he's like, wife is so powerful. He's going like, I fell after you, specifically you, Brian the Carpedo O'Connor, destroyed my life in LA or Miami or whatever. I just fell through every hellhole in South America, and I would have kept going if not for beautiful wife who saved me. So that's one of the kinds of women that you can be. Write that down, chat. Write that down. That's important.
Yeah, she doesn't get lines at all.
No, she gets lines in Portuguese.
She gets one line.
Where she goes, "You're pregnant, Mia Toretto, aren't you?" And Mia Toretto goes, "Yes, definitely."
Because you may remember, listeners, at the end of the last movie, it showed us that Mia can actually drive. And in the opening of this movie, she takes part in the heist to free Dom. And now it's just like, woman pregnant.
Just kidding, she's pregnant. Don't get in a car ever again.
Pregnant. How girl get pregnant?
This will be...
How is that
unfortunate misogyny will be a theme. And Vince is like... What? Paul Walker doesn't know that his girlfriend, Mia, is pregnant.
No, he doesn't know. They say that.
No, they have a heart-to-heart out on the balcony. And like, these are... The aesthetics here is we're past kind of like bootcut jeans and we're into sad, tattooed beard man.
We
in
are,
a way that like
he
almost hits like... I was going to say special forces. They look like kind of chud seals, you know, being like, I got feelings.
Well, so anyway, Vince is like, I've got a job in mind. We're gonna make some money. It's easy enough that we don't even need Dom to do it, who hasn't shown up in the movie yet. It's his face. He's off doing some other shit.
Yeah, they said that he was in Panama, which actually does. He got lost after Panama, which really does support the idea that they drove the whole way down.
This is probably another like Star Wars extended universe thing that's like a comic book or something.
Yeah, he's doing Riddick shit right now.
But so Fat Mac in Brazil, or Mato Grosso if you prefer, is like, what we're going to do is we're going to hit one of those Brazilian trains that we have in Brazil.
That's so many trains.
While it's traveling across the Brazilian desert that we have in Brazil. And this made me look into whether or not Brazil has trains, and it really doesn't, in a way that made me quite sad. They used to, but now they don't.
That's
now
so
it's just like light rail.
They should bring those back.
Lula, come on, buddy.
Yeah,
turn
for real.
Up.
For real.
Make with the trains. Southern Pacific, I'm talking.
The Canadian Pacific of
It's not
Rio de
Pacific,
Janeiro.
is it? It's the other one. It's Atlantic, isn't it?
No, it is Southern Pacific.
No, I mean like Brazil.
Brazil is on
the Atlantic, yes.
Yeah. No. So anyway, there's some cars being transported on this train. So we're gonna steal these cars.
Yeah, he describes this as simple and easy. Remember those two words when we describe what this heist consists of.
Yeah. And Brian gets up, and as he's walking through the train, he sees two guys with DEA badges. The DEA not associated with anything that is simple or easy for criminals, I suppose, unless it's like trafficking them drugs. And
the idea is that they're like, him and Mia are inside the train, and they will steal the cars, and the crew outside will drive alongside the train in like a cool buggy with a truckloader on the back of it. They'll cut through the side of the train, and then they'll like
stupid vehicle
yeet the cars sideways onto the fucking truck bed, tip it up, and then a driver gets in and you go vroom, and you drive it away, right?
Yeah. I have a slight question here, which is this off-road truck that they're using.
Yeah.
Ethically, factually, spiritually, is that a truck? Can a truck be made to serve the interests of Carmen? Is this like a traitor to truck?
Well, it's like a K car, right?
Truck? Yeah,
that's like it's like that's the bastardized truck. That's the pug to the truck's wolf.
It's a kind of comprador truck.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. This is like a borzoi, you know, in that it was bred to hunt wolves.
Peasants?
In this extremely extended metaphor about trains.
For sure.
And the trucks are Palestine? No.
I guess so.
Listen to our bonus episode on Duel.
We did miss a bit, by the way, where when they're having this heart-to-heart, Brian then does go to Mia and is like, we could just ditch all of this and go to anywhere. We could go to Hong Kong. We could go to Moscow. Because she suggests these places because they don't have extradition treaties.
Yeah.
And the idea of going to Moscow and then getting drafted into the war in Ukraine... just because of bad timing.
Kiev drift.
Oh,
drifting into the Donbass and getting hit with an anti-tank missile by like a Ukrainian National Guardsman. Very, very funny. And probably a more honorable end for Paul Walker than he actually got.
The Russians are losing 500 Matchbox cars a week out there.
Just wading through like spools of FPV drone wire.
Just driving the kind of up-armored but still vinyl-wrapped skyline.
Yeah, you put the armor on top of the vinyl. Like, it's layers.
I mean, to be honest, like, back in the real days of OSINT, this was mostly about what, cataloging the war in Ukraine was about, was finding photos of things like this happening. But anyway, so one of these cars, by the way, is a Ford GT40, which you can learn about why it's cool from a movie called Ford versus Ferrari. That's a real Carmen movie.
There's bickering over who, because it's not just our normal guys who are in this heist. There's also a couple of new people, a couple of rough-looking customers who Vince has brought along.
Guys, yeah.
And there's some bickering about who gets to take the GT40. It seems like that's specifically a nice car to have. And so Dom insists that Mia take it.
Yeah. Oh, Dom is here, by the way.
Yeah, Dom arrives. Yeah, they like when Mia and Brian get to the car that has all of the cars in it, they like blowtorch out the wall, and like as it falls down, you see Dom there, like silhouetted against the white, and it's like, oh my god, it's Dom Toretto.
Somehow
from Dom
not
Toretto.
taken off at the shins by the metal. Never mind.
You see them all hit the deck when that comes on.
So like the Brazilian guy with him though is wearing the most about to betray you expression it's possible to have.
Certainly.
Right?
So Dom tells Mia, hey, take the GT40 and go to a different location, go somewhere else. Yeah, and this ends up starting a fight inside the train car that alerts the DEA agents.
Yeah, who come in, and Brazilian guy shoots all of them, right? He John Wicks the fuck out of these guys.
He does. Yeah, he does. Does a great job. Rambos them. Paul Walker jumps out onto the truck outside. Dom is like... Dom throws a guy out of the train and definitely kills him.
I was surprised by that too.
This is the first time in the movie, it is not the last, that Dom definitely just straight up kills somebody.
Yeah. We do know here that Brian gets a technical Kronstein.
He does?
He has to hijack the truck that he is on, which means attacking the driver. Technical Kronstein immediately.
Yeah, we also get a creative little bit of action sequencing here. Like a cool thing to do, listeners, if you're ever writing an action scene, you want your hero to be disadvantaged in some way, and so the henchman who had the blowtorch like has that and is using it as a weapon. So we get like a cool action sequence as they're fighting on the back of this truck.
Nice. I like it a lot.
Some good ideas in this.
I'd blow out the blowtorch. I think I'd be like. Someone's threatening me with like an acetylene torch or something. He like gets control of this piddly little vehicle and drives it back into the train. This is it's all practical, by the way. Like most of this movie is practical effects, which I do really, really respect them for that choice, because I know that there were computers when they made this.
Seeing this movie, dog shit. Working on this movie, probably incredible.
Yeah, I bet it was a great time. Actually. Yeah,
Seems like they destroyed a lot of cars.
He does do Brazilian train 911. Yeah,
he does
do Brazilian train 911. He hits the train with his car, and it nearly fucking comes off the rail as well. It like really bounces and it comes back.
Almost derails the train.
Sick.
Just as it's about to go over a bridge over a massive like river chasm as well.
Yeah. So Dom steals the last car. He presses triangle next to the last car and drives it out of the train just in time. I assume this is some kind of cool car that makes car people go, wow, it's the whatever. To me, I'm just like, this is a silver car.
It is a cool looking silver car.
It's a silver Corvette? Question
mark?
67,
I think.
There is a kind of fun sequence of shots where he drives it functionally sideways off of a speeding train and like nosedives into the dirt, and the next shot it's immaculate. I love that.
Yeah, that really cool.
Yeah, very fun. But he rescues Paul Walker just in time, and then they drive off the edge of a cliff.
Right in, and they go over the cliff, and they both fall into the water. And it's like, it's one of these kind of movies. It's one where like there's a big action scene, and afterwards your two guys go, that was a stupid fucking idea, pal. And they like rough each other's hair up or something.
I have to, and I don't want to.
You had to make a call, huh? Better do this, Mom.
Shitty call,
also,
Connor. Shitty call.
I really can't stress enough how much they just fall at like terminal velocity for like 10 seconds. It's
It's
a
like
real
a
like
length,
aim for the bushes shit. It's really quite funny.
The
like,
rolling, exploding car behind them also.
I guess maybe the car breaks the surface tension.
it's not. I know these movies are going to get less and less plausible and like grounded in reality as they go on. So I'm not going to be like cinema sins dinging these for that. But it is like just so you know, that's the genre we're operating in, where it's like this is live action cartoon, right?
It's
like,
we're getting a little bit cute with physics here in a lot of ways.
But so they get immediately held up by a huge number of Brazilian gunmen, like gangsters. See, now I've said gunman like an actual word. I fucked up thinking about Carmen, you know? I'm just like...
Yeah, I guess so. I think it's good. I think it's good that we're blurring those lines.
I guess a gunman is someone who lives by the way of the gun. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And they end up hung from the ceiling by chains, like chainmen. And this villain...
This cut is so funny because it's just smash cut to them both hanging by their wrists. And Dom is like tanking it. He is not even visibly uncomfortable. He's just like hanging out, which is like, this is ludicrous, right? Like, it's a really good sort of model of masculinity to be like, I can support my body weight with my wrist tendons. You know?
It's fine. Yeah, fuck. The chains hanging right in his face as well in a way that I found to be really amusing throughout the course of the scene.
It's just really fun. This is him tanking it like this is why he's not sub Terrasso, you know? Because he's not giving like kind of like good reaction like Brian is. But then we get the villain.
Yeah, this villain walks in. He's like, "Hello, I'm one of the kind of slightly disposable villains of this franchise."
Reyes.
He's Reyes. I'm played by a good actor who's showing up.
I'm the Don of Rio de Janeiro. Who gives a fuck?
I'm crimes in Brazil. Whatever. I'm gonna. Where's the GT40? That's the important thing. And they're like, we're not going to tell you because that's me as it.
Yeah, he's like, just tell us where the fucking car is and we'll let you go. And Brian correctly observes that the entire room is plastered in fucking roofing plastic like a fucking Dexter. Like, I don't think you're letting us go. I don't think you're going to do that.
Something I like, by the way, is that the crime boss, Reyes, he like threatens Mia. And you see that the goon who betrayed them earlier is like visibly uncomfortable with this. It's like I maybe have some moral qualms about the job that I do, you know, which is funny.
But then this guy's like, all right, cool. I guess we'll just let you hang here for a bit, and then we'll ask you again later. And then they just he leaves, and then they immediately bust out. Pretty easily, actually.
It's like a joke. Dom genuinely just like moves his arms apart and is like, "Ding! All right, I'm not like chained up anymore." Just starts hitting people.
Yeah,
he was here for convenience's sake. They never had him, really.
Yeah, and I guess they also only left like 2 guys guarding them because they get back to Mia in the garage and like nobody's followed them or anything. It's fine.
This is really getting kind of like mythological.
You're forgetting that no weapon forged against Dominic Toretto will prosper.
It's sort of like, you know, the thousands of years hence, people will be asking about us, you know, did we really believe that Dom Toretto was a person who existed, or did he occupy more of a kind of a metaphorical role in our culture?
The historical Dom obviously is like...
there was a real guy called Dom. And there probably was an empty car because otherwise, when people said the car was empty, they would have just gone back and checked.
Yeah, but who knows why? Yeah,
exactly. Like if it's going to embarrass Dom, they wouldn't have made it up, so it has to be true.
Yeah, whether he really, rose again, we'll see.
So Brian has to explain ex-Fedly that the feds don't like it when you kill them, right?
Yeah, like that's really good.
Yeah,
like,
not
they're
many
gonna
people
be wanting revenge.
Excuse me,
that.
stewardess. I speak Fed, right? And so like I know that they're gonna do some like Kiki Camarena shit to us, right? Like they have to send a message that like you can't kill a federal agent.
Like,
so
they're gonna send their largest guy for sure.
They're gonna send their toughest, biggest dude.
They're gonna send the biggest guy that our current budget could possibly stretch to.
Talking on like 1.75 times speed for some reason.
He's gonna have a little bit of an accent, which it's really cute actually. I like when the accent comes in.
It's nice actually. I like.
He's gonna have a really, really meaty walk animation.
He is, because it's The Rock.
It's fucking Dwayne The Rock motherfucking Johnson.
And like this is 2011 The Rock too. So like he hadn't quite become the kind of charm and charisma factory that he is now. And like but he's just doing like old rock stuff. And it's like
That's
I realize
crazy.
I want
I disagree.
to talk.
I think it's the opposite. I think he was more charismatic.
He gets more more
back in the day.
Really?
He's definitely he's closer to wrestling at this point.
Yes, he is. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
he really does hit like wrestler in a movie thing, which, as we know, can be a real winner. Like we like Dave Bautista, right?
Yeah,
I like John Cena. Yeah.
Both of them have this kind of almost shyness about it, where it's like, oh shucks, I'm just a wrestler. You know, it's like, no, wrestling is a very specific form of physical acting. And seeing them kind of blossom into that, like Dave Bautista, can be great. But it's also, it makes you feel kind of protective when you're just like seeing a guy acting who clearly thinks he's just kind of a dumb meathead.
And you're like, no, you're doing great, man. You're like brilliant it, bro.
Yeah,
you're gonna get a spin-off movie, dude. It's all good.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll watch it.
I like his performance in this. I will say that, like, again, I'm one to talk, but the goatee is abominable.
It's like sprayed on.
It's like really funny. Yeah,
the Matt Walsh spray on beard. But like
terrible.
The thing is, if you've seen The Fugitive, right? What he's doing is Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive.
Yeah. Search every outhouse, hen house, cat house, dog house.
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, do it all.
He's wearing a kind of like empty plate carrier the whole time. It's
really
like,
tight black t-shirt.
He's kind of giving like fighting game character.
Yeah,
a lot
he
of the
is
time.
Actually. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, he looks like he belongs in like Street Fighter or something. He meets up with a local Brazilian cop and brutally frame mogs this guy because he's like,
it's crazy. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my way. There's one specific local cop I want to be my translator and my like in-country liaison. Her name is Elena. Get her for me. And the guy's like, why do you want her? And he's like, shut the fuck up, don't ask questions.
Yeah, he goes, I like a smile. And my other thing that I want you to do for me is stay the fuck out of my way because you're obviously corrupt.
Yeah.
It's epic. Okay. And he will be proven right about this.
He is right.
Which, again, this is a grievous insult to the great nation of Brazil, etc., etc. And it's quite misogynistic.
It is, very.
Because it's like, essentially what he has done is he's gone, you're all corrupt, give me your hottest cop.
The crew take apart the GT40.
Yeah.
Vince arrives and Paul Walker's like, oh, interesting, where have you been? Is that 30 pieces of silver jingling in your fucking cargo shorts, you Judas fuck?
That's crazy. I didn't see you strung up with me and Dom just now.
Yeah, that's not. Were you in a different cell, bro?
Oh, you must have been strung up somewhere else, huh?
Judas would have been so much better off with the cargo shorts. That's so convenient. You can just drop the talents right in there. Yeah, no, this is one of the points at which we increment one of my least favorite features of the franchise, which is fight broken up by woman going stop it counter.
Oh yeah, fuck
it's on Mia this time, but like it bounces around between characters. It was in Tokyo Drift where like the only role of like the woman in that was to go Yamate.
And also the underage woman who was like, "I will settle this through racing." Yeah.
It's like really like gross to make your sort of women pull apart your action figure men who are banging into each other a bit too hard.
And Dom forgives him because Dom trusts him. He's like, hey, he's family.
Dom's like, yeah, if he said he didn't do it, he didn't do it.
Jesus.
Go take a walk. Dom is Jesus.
Can't stress enough how much his teachings and his sort of like of his way of dealing with his followers, this is Car Jesus.
He is Car Jesus.
It is.
So we then go to the nice paneled boardroom where Reyes
almost perfunctory scene here with our villain.
Profoundly. You realize, shit, we got to establish some kind of character.
Where he's like, two people tried to colonize Brazil. The Spanish and the Portuguese. The Spanish rolled up and they had their weapons and their bullshit and we killed all of them. The Portuguese rocked up with like gifts, and made themselves invaluable. And now that's why we all speak Portuguese, which isn't, not phenomenally strictly accurate, but it's a good metaphor for him to use to explain why he gives the people of the favelas like stuff. He's like,
I'm a little bit smarter. I'm a little bit different. And like, because the guys he's talking to are not Brazilians, but are South Americans, he's kind of like insulting them as well.
Exactly.
It's interesting to do your organized crime explicitly as a neo-colonial analogy. That could be something. It is kind of funny to be like, yes, but the thing about Spanish colonialism is it didn't work.
Yeah, it's like, no.
Pretty sure it did, bro.
It worked.
It's also funny to be like, I'm not like a kind of cheap thug. I do things a bit differently here.
Yeah.
You know, it's a small place restaurant, so you order like a couple of things per person.
He even says to them, like, I don't want to work with you. You're too violent. I don't like violence.
Yeah. What does he do for the rest of the fucking movie?
Well, as we see, this is some non-performative management technique. He's nodding his head, but he's really shaking his head.
He also sounds a lot like Stellan Skarsgård. It's really alarming how much he does.
Yeah.
It's also, by the way, his goon is the only guy here who pronounces his name correctly in the whole movie when he speaks Portuguese to him. Because an R, like an initial R in Portuguese is in Brazilian Portuguese is an H. He is Reyes, like Hoist Gracie. Only gets hit once. Everyone else calls him Reyes.
Everyone else calls him Reyes. Yeah, all my notes say Reyes. I didn't even catch the one proper one.
Single cultural insensitivity point going on the board for that, I think.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Dom catches the Judas Vince messing with the GT40 and confronts him about it. And the GT40 has a special computer chip in it. And Vince knew this all along and didn't tell him during the heist. So Vince endangered them, and Dom casts him out of the garage.
Dom's line specifically about this when he finds out is he punches both sides of his head against the wall and goes, "Damn, you should have come clean."
I also wrote that down.
Really good.
Yelling, you should have come clean. It's like the most kind of supportive possible thing being yelled at you, which is a really funny way to imagine Jesus.
It's really good.
Yeah.
He's already preparing to
You
have
dumb
forgiven
motherfucker,
him.
I love you.
It's like, come on, I would have been like, that's okay if you told me, man.
Was hanging out as one of the apostles of Jesus. He just like cabadoned both sides of my head and then yelled the Beatitudes in my face. Like, it was really, really strange. And
he said love your enemies. He didn't say it would be easy.
Come not to bring peace, but a sword.
But he does cast him out. He goes, get out of here, and he leaves the movie for...
Vince makes quite a trenchant critique of Dom. He calls him out. He's like, this family shit that you preach to us is actually just personal loyalty to you, Dom. That's what you want. Is you don't want family. You want to be a patriarch. You want to be in charge. And I'm like, damn, okay, that's some fucking trenchant critique. This will not come back.
You're running a kind of cult here, Dom Toretto. It's also crazy how much
too much heaven on their minds. It's great.
It's also crazy how much all of the men in this look like action figures. Like, they're too big now.
That will not stop.
No, it will
only get worse. It will compound so strongly.
At this point, The Rock meets Elena, and we learn that her backstory is also that she's defined by a man because she had a husband who was murdered in the favelas, and then she became a cop. And it's like, I think about Carol Pateman, Problematic, I Know, and like her book, The Sexual Contract, and her idea that at the core of modern society is this unwritten rule that women exist for men. And I'm not sure that's always true in the society in which we live, but it is definitely true in these movies and this movie specifically.
Certainly.
Every woman in this movie exists for a man. And even Elena, who exists for her dead husband. It's like, and then he's like, you're the only cop in Rio who can't be bought. I'm like, bullshit.
Go for the classic screenwriting technique of it's like, as you remember, square brackets, your backstory. Am I right? And she goes, yes. It's like,
this is not to sort of like valorize the military police of the state of Rio de Janeiro here, right? Who are corrupt and also worse things than corrupt, right? But like to be like, you are the one cop in Brazil who is like not corrupt. You're Brazilian Serpico. You're wearing the Brazilian bucket hat.
And let's also bear in mind that, like, in the first movie, Paul Walker was textually a corrupt cop. He worked with criminals and let them go.
He was all the way through till the last movie.
Yeah. He was a corrupt cop in the previous film.
He was a corrupt FBI agent.
In the movie that's coterminous with this, the movie's attitude to corrupt cops is, I don't know, sometimes you gotta meet a cool guy.
Like, sometimes you're just corrupt, whatever. That happens.
Yeah, sometimes you hang out with, like, Jesus, you know? Like, Paul was a tax collector.
Life.
Oh my god, that's why Paul Walker is like Paul of Tarsus. Anyway.
He is. Exactly. Pauline conversion on the road through Panama, I guess.
On the road.
We're getting into some weird places with this.
Just Saul of Tarsus drifting a fucking camel and then fucking
wait a minute. Gotta let Jesus go.
Divine presence to be drifted.
So like functionally what we get is a scene where The Rock goes find these guys through some bullshit, and then they find them through some bullshit.
Yeah. The gang realized that the chip from the GC40 is a kind of like full Uber Eats order history of all the drug money that Reyes moves around, because he doesn't do banks, because he doesn't trust banks, so he keeps his cash in houses, and so they now know where all his money is.
Why was it on the train? Why were they?
There was a specific bit, by the way. I don't remember where it is in the narrative, where someone says of Reyes, he's smart. He doesn't leave a paper trail. When the one thing we know about him first is that he has not only left a paper trail, he has left it in the hands of the DEA.
He's left one paper trail, and it's so comprehensive.
All the paper, and like there's not even a password on it, actually.
Yeah, Jenny, you just have to plug it in. It's crazy.
Yeah. So the Rock and his team go to the favela to arrest Dom. One thing I like is that they show up in like an MRAP, right?
Mm-hmm.
They do, yeah.
And with a sort of like similar level of consideration for civilians. Like there's a bit where they're just like fanging this around a really tight corner crowded with pedestrians.
Mm-hmm.
But the great thing about a favela,
like that,
right, is at some point we'll do Tropa de Elite on this. But the great thing about a favela is you can just drive in, right? Like
apparently.
And like half a dozen gunsmen, Fat Mac's various gun friends are just gonna kind of...
Spider from Avatar comes out with his full auto and he just gets like mogged. He gets mogged.
They get gun mogged. They literally get gun mogged because all of these guys are there with their guns, and The Rock pulls his bigger gun. It's like a big revolver, which is epic. And everyone's like, "Oh, I see you have a bigger gun."
No, you've brought a gun to a gunfight.
Yeah, it's like, oh damn, you've got a bigger gun.
But at the exact same time as The Rock and his boys attack the garage, Reyes' goons also attack. So we have like and the gang run across the rooftops. Seeing The Rock run in this movie is like, it's crazy. I'm like
a little bit scared actually when I see, because he fucking moves.
How does he stop?
My favorite thing is when Dom jumps. Whenever he does parkour, he like throws his arms out to the side every jump, and you can see it in the shadows.
He's doing really like Naruto run, doing the Naruto run to go faster.
And I do want to say, Dom, with respect, lose the stubble now.
Oh yeah,
that shit looks awful, brother.
I want a smooth thing.
You're a cue ball. Be a cue ball. It's all good.
We get two distinct jumping horizontally through a window shots like Hit on Danger 5.
Yeah, I think one of them's Soap McTavish. I think they start torturing a guy in the back of a car.
Oh, if I recall. It's the car battery in the garage. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
We get a little bit of a Rock versus Vin Diesel tussle, but then Vin Diesel runs away.
We get it's like all very MMA.
Yeah, it
does. Yeah.
Because the goons, Reyes' goons start opening fire at Elena, and Vin Diesel runs into her and like gets her out of the way.
She's yelling, "I'm a cop," and they're still shooting. And he like pulls her to a side and goes, "They can hear you. They know you're a cop. They're still shooting you because favela." And it's like, how long have you been a cop here?
Yeah, like the Brazilian police are absorbing a like crazy casualty rate. Like it is like sort of legit urban warfare down there at times. We then get a kind of interesting fantasy of violence where the epic feds then like wipe out the favela gangsters,
gun down
quite
dozens
brutally.
Of impoverished Brazilians, just sort of and we go, woo,
It doesn't feel good.
Which is the type of shit that your actual Brazilian police are doing in the favelas, where they will just go in and kill 100 or so people, functionally like extrajudicially. Are they gang members? Are they all gang members? Were they all armed? Were they armed at the time? Who knows? But they're killing them anyway, right? Because of this kind of fantasy, right? And I don't know. It's bad. It's bad. It's not something that this movie necessarily owns a lot of on account of this is just dumb American shit doing a kind of drive-by on your country, but it's like brushing up against some very real and bloody politics,
Yeah. Also, like this movie is much more. Well, it's going to have a much higher unprovoked violence score. It's much more willing to have a high body count. I mean, remember in the first movie where Paul Walker shot Johnny Tran, and then we had a moment where he knelt by the body and we got a reaction of like, I did just take a life shit. And like now we're just like gunning down impoverished Brazilian teenagers in the street, and it's like it's nothing. Suggesting
the sort of value of Brazilian life in this movie is significantly lower. Yeah.
I'm also doing the kind of like, you can track the development of fascism by looking at the Lego cop thing. I mean, like you can track the development of American fascism by looking at the body count in the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, kind of.
You really can, yeah.
Mm. But the gang get away anyway, and Elena finds Dom's iconic cross necklace. Great.
Yeah, she does. Great.
Yeah. So Mia says that she's pregnant, right?
Now? She chooses this moment now?
Yeah, she chooses now because Dom and Brian are like, we need to split up. They're going to be looking for the three of us together. We got to go our separate ways. And Mia goes, I'm pregnant. Can we be a family?
She's like half deep in an open sewer, and she's like, I'm pregnant. So Brian is confused because she's, an adult woman.
He's like, I don't understand.
Dom is mad because they're A, living in sin, and B, he just lost his necklace.
But he's like, we're not gonna set up. We're not gonna like split up the family. Yeah. This is the moment that they truly became family.
They do a big hug, and what's really interesting is that Dom nuzzles into Brian first.
Yeah, I also wrote that down.
Like he just rubs that big old bald head directly on the side of Paul Walker's face. It's
There is something interesting about this scene, which is that like Mia announces that she's pregnant, and it's like, okay, you are on the run from the American authorities, the Brazilian authorities, and criminals in every country. You don't really live the kind of lifestyle that would be conducive to raising a happy and healthy child. At no point in this movie does any character even think that Mia might possibly terminate this pregnancy, or that this might be something to consider.
It is automatic that this is going to be carried to term.
100% baby, we are going to carry this. You are going to have this baby. Interesting that like there's no mention of marriage, which is you might think that might be there, but no, they're just like, no, it's fine to have like a baby out of wedlock, but like the idea that she might get an abortion, or that it might be sensible or prudent, or like even just a conversation to have, is just like never mentioned, and that is nuts to me.
Yeah, for real.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
Okay, so we go back with The Rock, who has found the car that's like half assembled. The gang have escaped with the Uber Eats order list.
Yeah.
And he's like, he does some more epic stuff, like, because he says all these guys is names on a list.
Yeah, because Elena is like questioning why these guys would have done all of these crimes. It's like, these seem incongruous. It doesn't make any sense. Why would they kill DEA agents?
They definitely, like, it doesn't make any sense. If they rolled the bus that many times, He's got to be dead.
It was like 6 foot. Like, that's
when did
crazy.
the Tokyo thing happen? Is that in the future? Like,
that's in the future. They had flip phones, but it's in the future from now.
Yeah.
When flip phones come back, then it will be time.
Maybe everyone in that single Japanese high school just thought flip phones were fucking back in, and it's like in the mid.
Maybe they were right to
2020s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe.
But he's like, find them by reassembling the car and figuring out what's missing.
Yeah. It's like they took it apart for a reason, just put it back together, and whatever's not there is what they took. It's like,
okay,
great.
sure, man,
okay,
whatever.
fine.
We see he's kind of a hard ass with his guys, who are basically anonymous chuds.
And that's a point worth making, I think, that he's a dickhead to them, and they don't really have characters because fact, spoilers, they're gonna get fucking wasted later on, and this is like a big character moment for The Rock, and I'm like, all you did was bitch at these guys.
There's one of them that's called Wilkes, which is my beautiful beloved Becca's surname. So every single scene that they're in, at least at one point, The Rock goes, Wilkes, and it really fucking shitted her up every time.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those relationships that you don't realize you value that much until you lose it. You know,
like, damn, my boys.
It's some real like Renee and Disco Elysium type shit where it's like I used to love being a real dick to those guys. But so the gang are hanging out. They're hiding. They're in hiding in a new safe house, and we get another heart to heart where Brian confesses that like he didn't have a relationship with his father, and he's worried he's going to be a bad father now that Mia's going to have a kid.
By the way, listeners, Mia, not in this scene. This is not a conversation he's having with the mother of his child. He's having it with Dominic Toretto.
He's talking to Dom about it.
Man talk, slap on the ass type shit. It's,
and he says to Dom, he's like, what was your father like, Dom? And he's like, well, my father got in a deal with a truck driver in the 1970s. And Steven Spielberg made a movie about it, and they did it on the podcast.
Yeah.
No, he's like, no, my father... my father in heaven sent me to Earth in the Dodge Charger to be God Jesus.
I want to pull general trivia just popped up on the Amazon site that says Vin Diesel is a producing partner with George Zack, and their company is called One Race Productions.
Cool.
The human race.
What's up, gentlemen? Welcome to Race Wars.
Come on, guys. Come on.
But yeah, so this is like weirdly like confessional and like emotional in the writing. The way it's played is very subdued, right? Either that or I was just too busy being sick into a bowl. But like again, it's like men talking to men about men feelings.
Yes.
There's also an interesting moment where Dom says his father was basically like an ideal guy, like he was attentive, he helped me with his homework. He says they went to church every Sunday, he threw a barbecue afterwards for the whole neighborhood, and if you didn't go to church, you didn't get any barbecue. And it's like, which is it? Was it for the whole neighborhood, or was it only for the people in his specific denomination? Because like I didn't want to let that slide past. I'm like, that you portrayed the entire neighborhood as only the people who went to your specific church. Interesting.
It's also as well, he says that he used to stay up late helping Mia with her homework, kind of resigned to letting his son do like quarter-mile drag racing, but like
what about your homework, man?
Well, he did drag in high school. He said in the first movie.
Exactly. Yeah. But like his daughter is the one who's gonna sort of like is like aspirational.
He would stay up every night learning eyeliner shapes. Just to help me out.
I need to do that.
This is the type of shit that you get in the confessional bit in Drag Race.
Every so often I put the spoon against my eye and I'm like, I don't know what I'm fucking doing with that. I don't even pretend that's a little bit too much for me.
I gotta look that up. That's a good technique. Well, Dev, you taught me how to contour.
Thank you so much. Well,
This is going a lot better than my notes, which is like how's everyone's relationships with their fathers.
Mine's positive.
Very good, actually.
Cool.
He's a lovely man.
Positive.
That's good.
Fucking jealous because he's somewhere in the South Pacific at the moment, fucking living the life of Riley. Anyway.
The life of Riley?
I think Riley's also in Brazil.
Yeah. My parents are doing this thing where they're just like, now that they're kind of like retired, they're just kind of traveling around the world doing epic shit and like been to Antarctica and like now I think they've just been to like Fiji and Tahiti, and I'm like, you bastards.
Wow.
That's what you got to, when you retire, just start spending the money on having a good time. See the world, boys. It's good. Check out China.
So they say, well, we got to get out of the life because we got to provide some kind of a nice atmosphere for this baby. And so,
we got to go to Moscow, right? We got to have a good life in Moscow, where we can we're hitting all the heights. Moscow, Taiwan, South Korea.
Good luck, everybody.
The disputed border zone between Sudan and South Sudan,
which is that one.
So they say what we're going to do is we're going to use the sat-nav chip. We're going to rob Reyes of all of his money, and then we're going to use the money to disappear. One last job, baby. Great.
One last job, the last thing we'll ever do.
But we're going to need a crew.
We'll need a team, and it's going to be all the guys we know, but we're going to have some sort of bullshit excuse to get each one of them in.
Yeah.
We're going to need a chameleon. We're going to need someone who can blend in anywhere, and there's shots of Han. And you're like, how does...
Asian man in Rio.
Sure.
Yeah, all right.
We'll need a fast talker. We'll need someone who can bullshit their way out of anything. At this point, my hype level hits the fucking roof because we see Roman Pierce.
Roman's back.
Thank God. For the first time in what feels like years. Yeah, we'll need Ludacris. We'll need the two cool Mexicans we run with, and fucking Gal Gadot. Why not?
You could graph my excitement going up and down.
We're back at some of it. They say we're going to need a hacker, so we'll get Ludacris. At no point in the second movie was he established to be a hacker.
He's a circuit guy. I don't think that means hacker.
They also say we're going to need like a gunsmith who can stay cool under fire, and it's Gal Gadot, and I'm like... The only gunfight we've seen her in so far, she stood in front of a moving car unarmed, and you had to save her life, Tom. Like, she's done nothing with guns. No, she's an operator. Whatever, she's back.
They've changed their mind. She's an operator.
They have fully changed their minds about their backstory. But okay,
fuck it.
Everybody rolls up.
A Mossad level of sort of like operator self-mythologizing, which will come up later.
Fuck yeah.
So one last job.
Specifically, when they all arrive at the garage, Ludacris and Roman hit on Gal Gadot, and she pulls a gun on them, and it's just like intimidates them with it because she's tough. You see,
it's epic. Yeah,
she's so fucking thin as well in this movie. She's terrifyingly thin.
This was what 2010.
Really, just
it was real bad back then.
No good at all. No good at all.
I have another thought about that
like
later
this woman,
on,
but like, don't starve yourself. Come on.
Absolutely. This is where during the briefing. somebody says he's never been busted because he doesn't leave a paper trail about Reyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
cool. They have a little Ocean's like boom, 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 like putting the crew together, and then they're like all like spiraling shots of a fucking blueprints thing, and they're like, okay, we're gonna hit Reyes' cash houses, and they're like, but if you do that, as soon as you hit one, he'll move all the cash, and Dom's like, exactly.
I know. Yeah, exactly. It's
great.
bad.
Roman goes like, this sounds unbelievably personal. That's not good business. I'm going to get myself out of here. And then he's like trying to steal $100 million and goes, you know what? Sometimes I just say I say shit before I even think about it, man. Don't worry about it. I'm back in the crew. I'm still here. And I respect that immensely.
I kind of like this. It's kind of funny.
I like him.
They go Joker mode though, because they hit the first cash house in an armed robbery.
They do go Joker mode.
they hold these workers who are unarmed at gunpoint. Not a big fan of that.
Yeah, all of whom are women in lingerie as well, because like your traditional kind of like fan service thing under the pretext of like, so you stop them from stealing money or whatever. Like this is a debt that this movie owes to something that sucks independently. Incidentally, by the way, Ludacris does describe getting his $11 million as a whole lot of vaginal activity, which is gross, but does make it sound like he's getting pussy surgery.
Yeah, it does. I'm just like,
I think that was Roman, which surprises me because I thought Roman was transmasc, so a whole lot of vaginal action.
Well, I mean, maybe he is already transmasc, but he's gonna
be transmasking straight.
Pussy, no, but I mean, like getting the pussy surgery back.
Interesting. Yeah. No. Maybe
you can't step in that river again. I don't think so.
But so I think you can do whatever you want. But the main thing is,
give it a solid shot. But
they go Joker mode by burning the money.
Mm-hmm.
The size of a tangerine. Yeah.
And this prompts Reyes to
about sending a message,
move all of his other cash in the cash houses into a different, like a single location. He consolidates it in a secure place.
Oh, nice. They're going to do an Italian job thing. They're going to hit these cash while they're moving.
That would be so much smarter.
No.
And that would also explain the excruciatingly long surveillance scenes where they like find the money and like follow the money, right? Like, but actually, they just end up accreting all of this money together into one vault in the military police station. Yeah.
And Ludacris is like, yeah, well, that was a fun idea for a heist, wasn't it, boys? Let's all go home.
He's outplayed us, basically, on this one, because we would be robbing a police station.
So they have this scene where they're, like, standing on a rooftop looking at the police station, like, we're never going to break in there. And Dom's like, through the power of car Jesus, my father in heaven, anything is possible. But also, two things I want to note. Mia, not in this scene.
Not in this scene. No, she's at home. She's pregnant.
Not here. Gal Gadot, in this scene, no lines.
Yep.
Just standing there. Nothing to do.
Hire more women heisters.
Yeah, just there. Great.
Present
fantastic.
like a minor character in the final season of Stranger Things. Just present at the periphery of every scene. Just there.
My next note says pressing L1 to enter Hobbs vision, and I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, because The Rock figures out who they are and what they're up to. Basically, he does some computers.
Comically easily discovers that the chip is missing.
Oh yeah, he does, because he's looking at the GT40 with like one missing part, and he presses L1 to activate Hobbs vision and understands that like humanity is a kind of like requires a leviathanic governmental structure to keep us from like war of all against all.
He also uses the identigraph. He uses the facial recognition software on a 10-second delay to identify them when the crew entered the Brazilian border. They have the facial scans, and he's like, that's fucking Han from Tokyo Drift, and that's Gal Gadot. She's going to be Wonder Woman. And then that's all these other people too.
Yeah, that's Miss Israel 2000 or something.
Ooh.
She was a model. She's got to start through modeling. Which is crazy because in a bit she walks in a bikini and she can't fucking walk.
We'll get to that scene. We'll get to that scene.
It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, it can't be smart to move all of your money instantly to one location.
We get another really perfunctory scene where the guy goes to report to Reyes, and he's like, "That boss,
of course.
They fucked our pussies, right?" And Reyes, the guy who previous scene was like, "I'm not like Spaniards. I'm a little bit smarter. I move a little bit different."
I'm not
like,
violent.
that's very interesting. Stoves the guy's brain in with like a paperweight. Now, I mean, this would be interesting if I thought it was intentional, of the sense of like, the guy's just a hypocrite and kind of like self-mythologizing. But like, I think it's genuinely they forgot what they did earlier.
I thought he was just going NHS mode, where he's like, I'm nice, and then he just kills you.
Getting the NHS FFS, where you just hit yourself really hard in the face, like clavicular. Like, yeah,
exactly. That's what they do.
A little hammer.
But so what they do is they've got to get into the police vault and take a look at the actual vault itself. So they send Roman in disguised as an FBI agent who bullshits them.
Love this idea of having a face who can't stop getting into arguments. That's a really good idea.
There is one thing. I mean, first of all, like this being the cops instantly vindicates The Rock's like all Brazilian police are corrupt thing. Yeah,
straight away.
Roman has this line. He's like, this just went from Mission Impossible to Mission fucking Incredulous or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, it went from Mission Impossible to Mission Impossible 2. Fine, great. Finally got to the joke that I wanted to do there.
Was that the joke? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
But from Mission Impossible to Mission Impossible 2.
Wow.
Yeah,
we'll get to them eventually. Eventually.
Yeah. But what he's done is he smuggles a little remote control car with a camera on it into the evidence vault. So Ludacris, who is apparently a hacker now, could like take a look at it. They talk about the vault like it's a woman. And I'm like, oh, interesting. Women can be cars, but also vaults?
In the sense of being penetrated as well.
Yeah.
The vault.
Yeah, as a kind of seduction.
Problem is when you open it, if you look in, you're going to cease to exist. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem with the
vault. But it will make all nuclear weapons irrelevant. So.
Yeah, somehow, yeah. The two bickering Spanish guys like blow up a bathroom and cover it in shit. I'm bored of this movie already, man.
I do kind of like these two.
Yeah, they're right.
Their characters, Don Omar and Tego Calderon.
There's one Brazilian cop who won't let Roman in when he's disguised as an FBI agent. That guy later on goes to the bathroom and the entire bathroom explodes like he just went number 27.
IBS will strike when you least expect it.
That's so true.
Slide like a fucking pipe bomb into the pipe, I suppose.
Yeah, and so the two Spanish-speaking guys have to go in as plumbers, right, to like install the fucking.
They hack the cameras because the camera wire is in the wall of the men's room, so they like they can now see the police cameras in the car park.
It's all getting a bit Steven Soderbergh at this point.
It is very Oceans. This is what I'm saying. It's like Oceans Avengers.
It's Oceans because they keep showing us heists where they explain it afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's
they're keeping up.
Don't do that to me.
Yeah.
So they look at the sort of angles of these cameras and they're like, we could drive in, but we would need a way faster car. And Dom knows where to get one.
This is the rest of the movie, is just that we need to do this heist at some point, but we need like progressively faster and faster cars. And this will be like the ticking, like this is the progress bar that is going in the back of the movie that will eventually lead us to
At one point during this, I wrote down this movie has had 45 minutes left on it for an hour and a half. Like, and it does feel that way in terms of the pacing.
It does drag. I thought we were gonna get a fucking installment of this franchise where we did not just have an illegal street race scene where we use women's midriffs and titties and asses and shit and legs as set dressing, but no, mandatory. We cut to the Brazilian illegal street race.
I had gone so long without remembering that women are objects, but thank God here's a bunch of TNA to just really put me back in the Fast and Furious mindset and almost to like drive it home. We cut across all of this just fucking disgusting like sexualization of people, and then it gets over to Don Toretto and he's like, we're home, we're back in the fucking where we wanted to be.
It's bad. I mean,
really bad.
Something that's really funny about this now in hindsight is that this is similar to Gal Gadot being like a size 00. All of these shots are of like thighs and tits because they hadn't invented asses being sexy yet in Brazil.
What's happening? I'm like freaking out. They're like showing me asses, and I'm going, first of all, that's exploitative, that's misogynist. But where's the ass?
The ass
like,
country?
I feel insane.
Is the ass behind the thing you're showing me now? Like,
these
feel like two contradictory statements, but they're the same. If you're gonna show me the ass, why?
That's cultural insensitivity.
It's
ridiculous.
What it is.
It's not called a German butt lift.
No,
exactly.
But so there is a blue Porsche that is
German
faster than like any of the cars they have, and they meet a guy who, of course, knows Dom because everyone knows Dom from street racing, and he's like, "I'll race you for the car," and then they don't show the race.
They win off screen.
They cut to Dom getting back to the gang hangout with the car. He won it, and it. Come on, show me the fucking race. Like what? I'm here for the race.
You did a 2-hour Fast and Furious movie and didn't have time for the Fast and Furious bit. Like,
but also, what that whole scene is telling us is that like the illegal street racing is not what is important about this franchise. What's important is the fucking objectification of women. And I'm like, I'm sorry, fuck you, movie,
fuck you.
But so they do a bunch of trial runs where they've marked out a course to try and get past the cameras.
It's gonna get worse.
And they try it, but none of them can do it, even in the faster car.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, Han likes Gal Gadot. He's like, oh damn, she's hot.
Gal Gadot drives fast, and Han, we see Han. It like clicks in his mind, and it's like, oh no, brother,
no,
don't.
my friend.
At this point, you should have had the like BDSS scoop. But so at this point, they discover another obstacle, which is that the vault has like a palm print scanner. That's obviously gonna be Reyes's hand, right? So they send Han and Gal Gadot to go and get his fingerprints.
At the beach.
They have this little talk at the beach where he's like, damn, you're on some like straight up Mossad shit.
Yeah. He's like, he noted that the gun she pulled on him was a Jericho, which is like the fucking IDF sidearm or whatever. Yeah. And like, he's like, whoa, that's so cool. When did you get out of the army? How do we feel about that, huh? I think you know how I feel.
There was this interesting time in Hollywood around about this time when like having been like a former IDF soldier, which Gal Gadot is in real life, or like having been in Mossad or like Israeli special forces, in particular being a woman and having done that was seen as like a cool thing. This was a thing, listen, believe it or not, like this was a thing that had real cultural capital in the United States and in Hollywood, because it was like a girls get it done, women are tough, like the toughest women in the world are like, you know, Israeli special forces women. And I think that's what they were kind of writing for Gal Gadot as the backstory of her character. And like that is partially something that like helped her career, because around about this time she became a national symbol of Israel. It may well have helped her to the Wonder Woman casting, although, you know, I'm sure she gave a good audition too. But like, and then just as she reached the kind of like apex of that moment, obviously like public opinion massively turned against Israel, rightly so, because of the fucking genocide. So that's why these movies appear like weird
Alexa
now.
Flood struck the death blow, and now we all understand.
Yes.
Like this.
You know what invented this was NCIS, right? With an actress who was Chilean, right? Like she wasn't even Israeli, but she played like tough Israeli special forces girl. Yeah. Also,
either way, this shit hit so much harder in like mid 2010s peak Israeli pop cultural influence, when the IDF was like this byword for like the ultimate operators, when it was like the Mossad, that's the like special forces unit that even our special forces are scared of. It hits less hard now that the IDF are broadly understood as an army of hillbilly rapists and TikTok influencers with the ideology of Hitler that fail completely 1v1 against any non-toddling opponent.
And Han is just like, how many kids did you kill with that Jericho?
Well, specifically to like apply this to Mossad, right? Israel's like foreign intelligence service is like, now that it's sort of like,
these are the guys that terror bombed Lebanon, like they with the pages and everything.
But also partly that, but it's also like, what did you do in Mossad? Yeah, ran Jeffrey Epstein and
certainly
fucking like sold spyware to like every dictator in the third world, right? Like it's not as epic anymore. But so the deal is, she like sees Reyes and she's like, don't worry, I've got a plan.
Maxwell, fucking look him up.
She's gonna like
Google some things.
Walk over there sexily in a bikini and get him to like put his hand on her ass. The problem with this is that 2000 and whatever Gal Gadot in a bikini at a size 00 is frankly like a Brazil 6.
And the problem is she like throws off this sort of like shawl that she's had over her this whole time and like walks sexily towards this guy, and she she's too thin. You want to be like, are you okay?
Yeah. You're expecting a Brazilian guy to be so horny at the sight of a woman in a bikini in Rio that he's like, I must touch her ass immediately. He wouldn't be touching fucking anything else. When would you have the time? Like, this is it's all ridiculous. Yeah.
But yeah, that's her big character. This is also just like forgetting the whole Israel thing. This is her character's like big moment in the movie, and it's about how hot she is and that she can get her butt touched by anybody.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, movie. Fuck you. Like,
how dare you do this?
Yeah.
Even to Gal Gadot. Like, this is disgusting.
So I hate that we can't sexualize Mia anymore because she's pregnant, so here's someone else to do that job. And it's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Bad. But they get back to the thing with the bikini, and they go, got his handprint. And everyone's like, yo.
They work out that it's Hobbs, the Rock, who is chasing them, and Brian has to do some like intra-fed hyping where he's like, he's the greatest guy in the way. When the FBI wants to find somebody, he's who they call, which is really funny, I guess. So they work out that they're gonna try and like lure him out.
It's also like really weird watching this now that the FBI is a bunch of like podcasters.
FBI also fucked. Cash Patel has sent this guy directly to Rio to sort this Dom Toretto problem out. Like, this is ridiculous.
Huge decline in like PR for.
Yeah. The Rock is walking around asking for specific windbreakers. Like,
it's such a shame. So, I can't wait for the movies made about the current FBI though. That's going to be so.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait for the James Bond movie that has like a secret bit where he meets a jumped up FBI agent and he's like, "How's your podcast?"
You know what I really want to see is a Secret Service movie that's kind of like hits the Jarhead thing, because I read Carol Lessig's book Zero Fail even before they almost got Trump killed a couple of times. And on 9/11, the Secret Service sent agents up to the roof of the White House with AR-15s to try and, I guess, shoot down a plane. Like,
God, yeah, dude.
So much of this shit that would be so funny to write. But anyway, so they come up with a stratagem to like lure Hobbs out, which is to go to Brazilian race wars.
Yes.
And let me just tell you, this is a sentence that is going to make me sound like I've suffered a deep brain injury. A couple of days before I saw this movie, independently of anything else, I saw an AI-generated version of this scene with Obama trying to arrest Charlie Kirk and Netanyahu in Tel Aviv.
Right? I also saw that video.
Against my will.
I have not seen that, and I choose not to.
I shall show you it. It doesn't help you.
I didn't mean to, but
it's
just Twitter was like, you like this? You like this?
You want to see this?
Why are you still on Twitter? That's the problem.
Blue Sky doesn't have the source. I found out Prince Andrew had been arrested. I went straight to Twitter. Like, I'm sorry, Blue Sky.
Blue Sky has the source. I've been yelled at about shit that you can't even imagine on there. It's great
flavor of source.
Blue Sky is a combination of like people scolding you on like really weird angles and like people doing like, yo, punchline? You just said punchline. Punchline's crazy.
Punchline really made me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck me, Christ.
Yeah, but there's no ads, and I don't have to look at Nazis all day. So
whatever.
I have to look at liberals, and I consider them broadly the same.
Yeah.
So, you've
seen what happens to trans women who stay on Twitter. It doesn't look good. It's like the Ring. You're gonna be like in a cave. Like, it's not good for you. It's bad for your brain.
All of this is bad for me. I'm sticking my head in a big Pyrex bowl full of like horrible worms or something. Whatever I do, that's just the world now. At a certain point, it's like you can't just shut the blinds on this anymore. It's escape containment anyway.
Just go back to like the bodybuilding.com forums or something. Just like go back to like a niche forum and just be like, this is
like,
where I'm
posting. At a certain point, it's just like outside where they have the Nazi banners. It's like, yeah, because we live in fucking Nazi Germany. Like it's I don't know. Anyway, they show up at race wars, right?
They do show up at Brazilian race wars.
The lead that they're at race wars. Hobbs shows up and is like, you're under arrest. And Charlie Kirk says, I don't feel under arrest. Do you feel under arrest, Benjamin Netanyahu?
Yeah, Netanyahu goes, no, not at all.
The Rock is so sweaty in this scene.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that was a character choice or whether The Rock was just very warm on the day they filmed it. But Vin Diesel's like, you're not in the United States now. And then everyone in Brazil has a gun, unlike America.
He The Rock, a guy who arrived here, I think probably about a week and a half ago, puts his arms out to the side and goes, "This is Brazil."
That's Vin Diesel who does that.
Brazil. He really overpronounces. It's really good. Yeah.
It's great.
Everyone
and everyone pulls a gun out and you're like, cool. Oh, yeah, this guy is Jesus.
I love that, like, because The Rock cannot be seen to back down, he has one of his boys tell him to back, like, in case we thought that The Rock was a pussy, he has one of his guys be like, boss, I think we gotta maybe, like, that's a lot of guys, I don't know. And so as to, like, not, let his boys down, The Rock is forced to leave with a tracker that Ludacris has planted on his MRAP while he wasn't looking.
Fun.
Indeed.
Elena gets home that night and finds Dom waiting for her, and he takes his iconic necklace back, and she has a dead husband shrine.
With a little bit of sexual menace. He pins her against the wall and like covers her mouth, and he holds this for a bit longer than a previous Dom would have, I think.
I think so.
It's a little bit darker and edgier post last movie Dom.
Yeah. She even remarks on this. She's like, "Oh, was the woman who gave that to you important to you?" And he's like,
it's interesting because
I'd mention it if at work a colleague started wearing our like Target's iconic necklace.
I would too.
Be like, you're wearing the iconic knife. That's Dom Toretto's iconic necklace. I know that. Anyway.
You don't want to like check where he got it, run some analysis on that. No, I'm just going to wear that big necklace. Okay.
So they try to do a kind of interesting thing with like shared grief here, right? Well, it could be interesting. It isn't, because it sucks, because the movie sucks, right? Where they're both like, I both lost somebody, and they're meant to have a kind of a bond, but it feels so paint by numbers that it's just like, no. So they work out how they're going to defeat the cameras, right? Invisible cars, but not invisible like Die Another Day. Invisible like another movie.
Yeah, like the cars that they would be expecting to see in
invisible,
the security
like the
cameras.
Thomas Crown affair.
Yeah,
exactly.
So they steal some cop cars. Smart.
And then they go, oh, we should probably have like a street race in the movie, shouldn't we? We should probably make them race
street
in the
race
movie.
Scene earlier, but they
could have, couldn't you? But no,
no, they do the cop quarter mile at a time, and it's kind of suggested that Dom lets Brian win.
They're in cop cars. They do a lot of talking shit to each other. Genuinely, who gives a fuck? And they just do a street race. And Dom...
It's important.
The other people in the race tell Brian that Dom let him win, but I don't...
Han and Roman are like, Dom let you win.
I don't know enough about cars.
Maybe he does.
Maybe he doesn't. From the street race footage.
Anyway, Vince comes back. Mia's in the movie again. She's at a market, and Vince is like, Reyes, goons are hunting you. Let's go. They go back to the garage. Dom instantly forgives him. He's like, okay, whatever.
You could tell that I stopped giving a shit, because my note here is verbatim: family, Grace Food, barbecue, family.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the scene. That's the scene.
That's the whole fucking scene. That's the scene start to finish.
Dom's like, cool, welcome back.
Lines. Sorry, I've just remembered from the previous scene of a drag race. Brian says to Dom, don't cheat this time, to remind us that he's still sore about that one time that Dom PIT'd him. And Roman says that he's hungry. They've neutered my boy. He's not hungry. He's hungry. What the fuck is this? This is ridiculous.
A couple of things that I pulled out here. One, Han and Gal Gadot are talking, and she hits him with a line. When life is on the line, that's when you learn about yourself. And I just need to know when the hell your life is ever on the line in Mossad. She
worked. Her IDF service. She was a sports trainer from ages 18 to 20. And then she didn't reserve.
I assume she was like a lieutenant general for that.
It's ridiculous. She's actually like the highest honor you can get in the IDF.
Physical training instructor.
Maybe what she meant is when life is on the line, not necessarily yours. When someone's life is on the line.
Yeah, when someone else's life is on the line.
When our life is on the line, you know who you are, i.e. the person who takes it.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's disgusting.
I also like Roman Pierce's exercise in social niceties here, which is he outs Mia as pregnant because she's not drinking, and he goes, "Hey, why aren't you drinking alcohol?
What's wrong with you?"
Yeah,
it takes like 3 attempts for him to take in that she can't drink either.
this
so
is
good.
always a good idea.
Huh? Yeah. What do you mean she can't drink? Is she like gay? Like, and Brian like
fine.
rubs her belly a little bit, and he goes, "Oh."
So
like,
at this point, Hobbs gate crashes the situation.
No, next day, on the day of the heist, he crashes in. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
It is. Yeah, they have a nice night's sleep, I suppose. And then
and both the count of like horizontal jumps through windows like Hitler in Danger 5 and women yelling stop to break up a fight go up by 1.
Well, he crushes Vin Diesel's Dodge first.
He kills the BDS Dodge.
He kills the BDS Dodge, and Vin Diesel's like, you just made a mistake. And we get the epic Rock versus Vin Diesel fight, which is actually a pretty good fight, actually. It's pretty well choreographed. They kind of smash through a bunch of windows and shit. Fine.
Yeah, they know they were building to it. They thought about the choreography.
We see that Dom maybe thinks about almost going murder mode again. Like he's got a hammer and he like stops himself at the last second because Mia is, of course, being like, stop, no.
Yeah, just make a note, listeners, that like, and The Rock notices. The Rock is like, oh, The Rock will remember this. Like Vin Diesel respects human life, and I'm like, he definitely killed that guy earlier on. When you threw him out of the train, and will kill many more people in this movie. But like, yeah, it's just like, oh, Dwayne Johnson will remember this.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Next note just says, "Yay, more gunfight."
Yeah, because they load them all in the MRAP and they're driving him through the favelas to take him to the airport to take him away.
Oh, and they get clear and present danger.
Yeah, they get ambushed by Reyes' men, and The Rock's men get killed, and he's just like, no, not
This is so fucking good, right? Like, because they really
Wilson
over-egg this.
Like,
he's like
slow motion,
blown
like,
back on the ground,
music.
like with an RPG, and he's forced to watch as his boys get killed. One of them, in the funniest possible way, a grenade lands by him, and then, in case you didn't get it, a second grenade lands by him.
Love that, yeah.
It's really good, really good.
Like, multiple grenades.
Yeah, he's getting like mega traumatized by this, even though he only was mean to these people. And like also by virtue of the last scene, all of them were standing around watching him getting the shit kicked out of him by Dom Toretto and didn't intervene at all.
He told them not to. He said, "Don't worry, I got this," and then didn't get it. He did not got this. He did not have that.
He did not have that shit. No. He has to get rescued by the family.
Because in slow motion, Dom wearing his iconic cross necklace reaches down and lifts The Rock up, spirit first, and then they join in and they get away.
A classic sort of like Predator, 2 meaty guys shaking hands scene.
We love to see it.
More of those will be occurring.
Yeah.
Sure.
As they drive away, though, it's Elena, The Rock, and the gang driving away in the MRAP, and Vince is like, I'm not going to be in the later films, Dom.
He got hit by a bullet. He dies.
He dies.
I can't believe
before saying he named his son after Dom.
Yeah, I named my son Nico, though. Not like I didn't name him Dom. I named him after the alternate
Dominic
nickname from Dominic.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he's like, I'll watch after your son. I'm not really.
The weirdest possible expression in the movies. This comes up a couple of times, saying that you have eyes on someone to mean that you are protecting them.
Yeah.
I don't.
We have the watch now shit.
Yeah, but so The Rock now owes a Wookiee life debt to Dom Toretto.
He does, yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a real like mission type shit. Yeah. And I don't know, it might be kind of interesting to explore this kind of Javert situation he's found himself in. But no, he's just like, yeah, cool. I'll be in on the heist with you.
Yeah, basically, Dom is like, we're doing the heist. We're going to do the heist. And everyone else in the room goes, why the fuck would we do the heist? They know we're here. They know that we're aggressive. They've like tripled security at the police station. We're so fucked. Why would we do it? And Hobbs is the guy that goes, I'll join you in doing the heist. He's like the first follower.
Yeah. He's the way they get in because he drives the MRAP through the wall of the police station.
Exactly. It's just about the right kind of car for the right kind of problem. You need an MRAP so that you can drive it through walls to get in.
Yeah.
And he just like fully starts killing Brazilian police officers. And, like this is a guy who works for the US government who's just like on Brazilian soil, just like killing police officers. And we're told that these police officers are corrupt, but again, so is Paul Walker, and so is now The Rock. The Rock is now a corrupt cop working with criminals to steal money from drug guys. Like, come on.
It's like the Lego set of Sicario being built in Duplo. So at this point, we get like the big set piece, which is they have repainted 2 of the cop cars black, right, to be epic.
Yeah.
And they just hook the vault to them and with like big chains, and they pull the vault out and they just drive away with it, setting off a good Infinity Police Cars chase.
I love an Infinity Police Cars chase. I also I love this. This is the set piece that actually sold me back on the movie because I was fucking flagging hard at this point. But this is very clear. They're like, okay, we've got a 10-ton vault. We've got 2 cars attached to it with chains. What can we do with this? And they spend 15, I think, solid minutes just sort of doing everything that you could do with that concept.
It's very like
and it's great. It's really good.
Point sort of stunt.
There's a lot of momentum. It's like swinging around behind them.
They definitely kill a lot of police officers with this thing.
They kill a shitload.
The thing is that the cops always obligingly start shooting at them right before the cops get wiped the fuck out. So it's like legally not unprovoked violence. Something I appreciate is that Brazil just authentically in real life does have infinity different kinds of cops with like different cop cars and different cop liveries. And you get a real kaleidoscope of cop cars getting fucked up by a 10-ton vault here.
Yeah, you get all of them. It's really good. Yeah. They also know that it will be sonically disgusting to hear that many cop car sirens going at once. So they're instead doing the sort of like short, sharp micro sirens.
Yeah,
where they like appear in a shot and they do like this hyena, like just like whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah,
and then it's like that's a cop car. I get it.
A cop car is a kind of dog. It gets excited when it's chasing. Yeah, absolutely.
Love it. Love it.
Roman gets the baffling line, "This is big boy stuff."
Yep.
I don't think it is.
No,
I wrote, this is heisting.
No, this is heist racing. Yeah.
This is podcasting.
This is vault racing. But so they do the fucking prestige in a way that's very obvious, right? Because Mia is Mia's on the comms because she's pregnant, so she can't be driving, and she's like, "All right, you got 10 seconds to do the big prestige," and they use the 2 cop cars that still look like cop cars to. We don't see what it is, but they
do something happens, and then they keep going with the chase scene, and we get a flashback later. Ocean style. Something
that we forgot to mention earlier is that they bought another copy of the vault to show, I guess, how difficult the vault is to get into. And
so Ludacris could practice.
Ocean's 11. Yeah, Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11.
With what money? With what money did you buy that?
Yeah, they just hand wave it away. They just go like,
I
had a life before.
Brazilian Amazon Prime?
Brazilian Klarna, Klarnau.
I would be monitoring purchases of that. I don't know.
Same. So would I.
This would have been a case where the money that they set fire to would have come in handy, I think.
Yeah. We tried to deliver your vault and you weren't in.
Just lobbing your vault over your back fence.
Gotta go to the local post office and pick it up.
They got it with a concierge. I have to drag it across the fucking parking lot.
Yeah, Every actually delivered it to this place like 5 doors down, and now I've got to rent a truck to move it.
So they go out onto a causeway because that's easier to film on, and they're like, there's too many cops, we're never gonna get away. Car Jesus, please activate your self-sacrifice lobe.
Yeah, really Dom does his special move, which is self-sacrifice himself.
Yeah, presses his button in his car that only he has, that like disconnects Brian's car.
Yeah, not sure how that works.
You go be with Mia, raise your family. I'm gonna turn around and hit every single cop car with this vault.
Yeah. Also, if you could tow the vault with 1 cop car, why did it need 2 of you? Whatever.
He pushes the button. He's like, go and liberate the Donbass from Ukrainian oppression, right?
Yeah. Godspeed to you.
Fucking like pro-Russian chud Dom Toretto. And then like it turns around.
He uses the vault as a wrecking
kills
ball.
Infinity cops.
Yeah, he kills so many people.
So many.
Crushes a bunch of Brazilian cops into a cube, which I think kind of maybe should be done, but not by this guy and for these reasons. It's like Katamari Damacy.
Many cars hit this vault over the course of this, and they're all practical, and they all visibly get absolutely obliterated by it.
There's one where he like uses the chain to shear the top half off a cop car, I guess perfectly decaffeinating 2 Brazilian cops.
Yeah, those guys definitely died. Reyes' goons pull out a fucking minigun, and Dom still wins. He wrecks Reyes' SUV with his car. Great, or whatever.
He does this unbelievable, like, Morning Star like hammer, meteor hammer shit, where he like swings the Volt around and then he jumps out of the car in time for his car to get picked up by the momentum and swung around to crush Reyes's car. It looks pretty fucking sick. I gotta be honest with you, I had a really phenomenal time with that. And then they do 500 fake out endings.
Yeah, because as Dom is about to close in on Reyes, the goon from earlier, whose name is not important, is about to kill him because he has a gun. And Brian has come back and has gotten way better and less hesitant and guilt-ridden about just killing a guy. Because he just fucking domes this guy off.
Yeah.
Like...
Says, I thought I told you to go away. I had to make a call.
Yeah, it's like in the first sequence he said that as well.
Yeah. Now it's a call.
So Reyes is like his car's been hit by the Volt, so he's like incapacitated.
He's injured. He's unarmed, and he's asking for help.
Yep.
And the Rock rolls up and shoots him twice in the head, executes him on the ground.
That's for my team, you son of a bitch.
Appreciate that. Will bump up the scores, but I did think it was cool.
The only person who like thinks this is bad is whoever was writing the soundtrack, who just goes, it's just like, ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
No one else
thinks it's
everyone
bad.
else is like,
missing a clue in LA Noire.
Yeah.
No, not even that. Like missing a note in Guitar Hero. Like just like,
You shoot that guy. It breaks a bunch of quests, but it's like, I'm getting him out of my fucking way. I don't care.
No, for sure. Essential NPCs. No, he just murders the guy. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Just like murders that guy.
Contrast this to Fast and Furious 2, where they explicitly took the villain alive and sent him to prison. We're getting more violent. I don't like it.
Much.
And he's like, I'll give you 24 hours to get away, but the money stays with me.
I'm keeping the money. Yeah, Elena is also here so that they can have sexual tension.
Elena, who, by the way, was shooting cops in the police station. I'm like, did they not have wives?
No.
It's hard to know, really, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, like, my revenge is like beautiful and justified. Your revenge is sort of terroristic and sort of like unprecedented, right? Like,
yes, exactly. I said, fuck your feelings.
I believe that about myself. Yeah, that's fine.
My feelings are beautiful.
Facts to care about my feelings.
Yeah. But of course, inevitably, they have done the Ocean's 11.
They have Ocean's 11.
Yeah,
we see
11,
them. They drive away. They open up the vault, and there's nothing in it. And the Rock laughs, and that's the last we see of him.
It's like, they got me.
It's not even a good joke because the punchline to that joke should have been that it was the bikini bottom in there. That's what that joke is.
So you know how how Dom and Elena had that scene earlier where they're like, it's weird how you just keep grieving somebody, right? Like, and like you can't necessarily like fix it. You just have to kind of go on as best you can. Well, Fat Mac's widow is delivered like, sorry we missed you, thrown into her apartment, duffel bags full of cash.
This is so good.
$11 million. Yeah.
How is that gonna fucking help? That's gonna make my life so much harder. How am I gonna get that?
She's so happy. She's so relieved. No one's told her that Fat Mac's even dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did they? They should have put that on the note. I hope that's on the reverse of the note.
They didn't, but Dom leaves her a note being like, hey, I guess I'll be back to check in or whatever. Here's $11 million. Does not mention at any point during this, your husband bled out in the back of an MRAP.
It was on the back.
Yeah.
P.S. Vince is dead. Sorry.
Yeah, P.S. Vince. Oops.
Kind of our fault that happened.
the two Spanish-speaking guys do a movie called Ballad of the Small-Time Gambler for one scene.
I like the two Spanish-speaking guys.
Ludacris starts a garage with his share of the money, even though he already had one in Fast and Furious 2. And he even says in this, when they're talking about how to spend the money, he's like, I want to start a garage. It's like, you already had one, man. What happened to that? Do you remember Suki? Remember your girlfriend, Suki?
Remember
Who
Suki?
are you?
Yeah, like, you came here from your garage.
Yeah.
To... I don't know. But he
Why
starts
isn't
it, whatever.
Suki in it? Whatever.
And fucking
Roman,
motherfucking Roman rolls up and goes, check out this property I picked up, both a car and a woman.
Yeah.
And there's like a scene where the shot is just like car, woman, and it's just it's just Ludacris and Roman just looking at them and go like, nice. It's good that we have that property now.
Yeah, and then Ludacris is like, I've got car and two women.
I've got the same car and two women.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
Great. Awesome.
Han makes out with Gal Gadot, and she's like, do you want to go and die in a fiery inferno in Tokyo with a bunch of school kids? And he's like, maybe at some point.
And he goes, we'll get there eventually. Which I really like.
Knowing. Yeah, I kind of like
straight
that
to
one.
the audience. Hey, someday.
Someday
we'll
like
get
this guy too much. Yeah. So then of course we then go to Moscow, the next department down from Bashar al-Assad, where Dom, Brian, and Mia are hanging out. No, they're on the beach. They're on no extradition beach. One of the things that I think is most contemptuous about this movie.
Elena is also there.
Yeah, Elena rolls up too.
Yeah,
no
Elena's
lines, but she is here.
No lines,
this
but she's
is the
there.
thing. No lines. Elena and Mia end up talking on the beach about girl stuff. We don't get that conversation because
Who
they
gives a
didn't know
fuck
how to
about that?
write
We're
it.
with the boys.
Yeah, didn't know how to write that one, so we just don't. Right?
Yeah.
Instead, it's just the boys, the impotent beach boys.
The movie passing the Bechdel test in the background is quite funny.
They're talking about something.
It might pass the Bechdel test. We don't know. They're probably talking about
presumed
Dom.
Bechdel test pass.
How much they love Dom.
And Dom and Brian are like, do you wanna race each other again? And I pin a solemn rosette of not filming the race again award on the movie.
Instead, it just slowly zooms in on the two cars, and then it cuts to the fucking credit sequence.
The CGI credit sequence race.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh.
Did either of you bother to see the mid-credit sequence?
There's a
No?
mid-credit.
What?
No.
Good. Okay, let me be the one to tell you, and let me be the. This is actually exactly how Michelle Rodriguez found out as well in the cinema.
Please tell me it's Hulk car origins.
Wait, what?
No, The Rock is handed a dossier that has a security camera photo that has just been taken and has like set off all of the alarms or whatever, and it is Michelle Rodriguez.
Whoa, she wasn't dead after
She
all.
wasn't dead. And this is the IMDb trivia pulls up. She didn't even know that. She saw this scene in the movie and was like, oh, I'm going to be in the next one. Awesome.
She got drafted
Paycheck coming
back
for
in?
me.
That's really good.
I love that. I hope that is true.
That's really fun.
I have no reason to disbelieve it, but it seems funny.
That would be unusual because her agent would know that her image rights were being used in this movie. But
It seems odd, but that's what it says on the side of the screen right now.
I choose to believe a good story.
That's a nice. I like that. I like that. Good for her.
It's cute.
For giving
It's
her
cute
a
to
gig.
imagine.
What does Fast Five say about masculinity?
Oh, it's Eva Mendes who's in this scene. It's Monica Fuentes from one of them. Oh, which one was she supposed to be? Who gives a fuck?
She was
Sorry.
in the second one.
She was in the second one.
did she give The
she's
Rock the
back, I
security
guess.
photo?
She's the one who gives The Rock the security photo.
Oh, okay.
Didn't clock that until just now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What this movie says about masculinity is women be getting pregnant sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, there's so many different kinds of women that you can be. You can be pregnant. You can be car. You can be near car.
Bikini model.
I think that's it.
That's all the major ones. You can be widow. But that's still being
You can be
defined
widow,
in terms of a man.
Yes.
Ex-Mossad, if you need to kick a little ass. Like, that's,
Very little ass. If you need to kick a tiny ass
If you
in Brazil.
smallest ass in the world.
Yeah.
Finding the ass with a microscope.
It's real bad. This movie says that women's feelings are not important other than that they stop the men from hitting each other sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Being a dude is about you hanging out with your boys, family.
Which is a lot more chill with violence now.
It's just so insulting what they did to Mia because she wasn't in a car for any of the previous movies, and then at the end of the last one they show her in the car to break Dom out, and it's like, whoa, Mia's in the cars, and then they just hard stop. Mia is not in a car anymore.
No.
She's never gonna be again. She's pregnant.
Genuinely, it made me wonder if there was some kind of production thing, could that actress, can she not drive?
Was genuinely pregnant
was she
as well
genuinely
at the
pregnant
same
at the time of
time?
filming? I was genuinely this because if she was just ready to work and they did this to her, that's fucking inexcusable. It's horrible.
No, this was kind of a vile object, I'm afraid. I mean, it had some spectacle to it, but the pacing is fucked.
Yeah, it is.
It is fucked.
It's got a couple of fun set pieces, and then it's connected by this kind of sinew of barbecue and family in a way that's just kind of nothing.
This is the this is the sort of connective one. All the rest are very much of the elaborate heist that involves cars movies.
Okay,
All the previous ones were about street racing, and it just is now It's family. It's now slop.
So
it's slopped out.
Season. I'm excited for the rest of the slop. We have like 5 more of these as well.
I think like 6 actually, and then Fast Forever.
We do, we do. There are 10 of these, and Hobbs and Shaw as the crossover, which we will obviously do.
We don't have.
We don't even know who Shaw is.
These things subjectively because we have a science-based system.
We do.
That's fucking true. We do.
It's called the SCUM system. It stands for SMUM: cultural insensitivity, unprovoked violence, and misogyny. On a scale of 0 to 7. How smarmy is Fast 5?
I think it's getting worse. They've got a few more like lines like, "Oh, dumb call, O'Connor." Like,
it's
I think it's the
in.
smarmiest one for a while. Not quite as smarmy as Too Fast, Too Furious, but
Ludacris has a line that he first says to Gal Gadot with regards to getting her ass grabbed by our main villain to get the handprint. He goes, "Did he just slap it or did he grab it and like squeeze?" And he says this twice, and it's supposed to be like funny. I think
he says it to Mia as well.
Yeah, he says it to Mia with regards to Paul about getting pregnant.
4, 5?
I don't know. 4. What was the last one?
The last one was a 2 for Smarm.
Oh, okay.
I think we're up in the 4s here.
Well, yeah, 4 then. 4
okay.
Much as I want to give it 5 for everything, just for symmetry. Cultural insensitivity, this has got to be quite high.
This has got to be pretty fucking high.
I mean, it's still a nice thing that the franchise is saying, you know, we've got like a multiracial group of heroes and that this is just kind of fine and cool. That's nice.
They do have multiracial. None of them are Brazilian.
Yeah.
Apart from Elena.
Elena is your one Brazilian character in this movie, basically.
And Brazil is not really a place exactly.
The way that they portray Brazil as kind of being Mos Eisley, I'm not a big fan of that.
No.
It seems upsetting.
Absolutely.
What's worse? Okay, what is worse? The depiction of Brazil in this movie or the depiction of Japan in Tokyo Drift?
This one.
Yeah, I think so.
It makes Japan seem cool, whereas it doesn't really bother to say anything about Brazil other than it's like a theme park for them. Like,
yes, very true.
I think specifically to set some of this stuff in a favela is
very true.
Much more insulting, you know, to use the kind of language of Brazilian gang violence for your heist movie is. Again, you are dealing with some seriously dark shit that you are using trivially and arrogantly. So bad.
4, 5?
This is difficult actually. I guess 5, I would say.
Okay. I think that tracks. I think it's the most culturally insensitive one we've had so far.
I think so.
And that does track. Unprovoked violence, I think it's going to score pretty highly. Because we're reveling in the violence a lot more this time, and there is like a straight up murder. The body count is way higher.
It's not as sadistic as like a Rambo or anything. Like your sort of like deaths are implied, like the car gets crushed. But it's definitely
a lot of cars get crushed, like a shitload.
I think it's worse than the last one, and the last one was a 5.
Yeah,
God,
I could see a 6 for this. Certainly.
Yeah.
We just straightforwardly say like executing an unarmed man is like cool if it's in revenge, which is something that the last movie specifically disclaims, and then
it does.
In a movie that again begins at the ending of the last one goes, but it's sick when The Rock does it. So you know, and those guys are going to turn out to be like sort of besties, I guess. So
yeah,
and then misogyny. This is also going to be bad, right? Like,
on the one hand, we only have one sequence where women are used as props in an illegal street race, which is an improvement. I'm reluctant to say that on previous films.
Yeah. You get one other though where they're used as props on a beach.
That's very true. We have a main character who just gets
the garage at the end.
Yes, and like pregnant is just like straight away you can't do anything. The 2 types of women are like pregnant and bikini model or widow. Yeah, I think it's still pretty bad. I think it's still in the punitive zone. I can see my way to a 7 or an 8 on this.
I would happily do either. I'd say for the sake of argument a 7, I suppose.
Dev, you got a strong preference?
Absolutely.
7? Okay,
7.
That's hard math.
And one technical Kronstein for former Special Agent Brian O'Connor. Paul Walker.
Yeah, it's such a shame that no villain henchman really stood out at all here. They didn't have any Mr.
It's just paint by
numbers.
numbers.
Nothing at all.
Yeah. Reyes is nothing. His guy is nothing. There's just really kind of.
I mean, the thing is, they kind of pick the fight with him in a lot of ways. Like they get the chip, but they just are like, okay, well, Mia's pregnant, so we all want to get out. So let's rob the biggest guy in Rio, and that's kind of how they end on him.
And the original bit, okay, he was going to betray you, but the original bit was like, you were stealing this for him for money. Why wouldn't you just sell it back to him? You know?
Shit, you're so right. Wait, they could have just done that.
Vince tries to, but he gets kicked out.
Why couldn't you go and talk to him like the point of Tokyo Drift is?
Yeah, you could have done this with one car, an Uber. You could have gone over to him and be like, can we have $1 million? And he'd be like, yeah.
Right. They haven't learned the lessons of Tokyo Drift.
No, they haven't.
Happened yet. They
haven't. True. They
because
haven't
Tokyo
learned
Drift
yet.
is the sort of like end point of the franchise because it has like, its highest level and its deepest lesson of Dom Toretto Car Jesus, which is to turn the other cheek. You know.
Yeah, and can't say fairer than
that gives it a total score of 22, which is the worst so far. They are getting worse.
Yep, that tracks. That absolutely tracks.
I agree. I look forward to seeing what depths this franchise can plumb. Will we have... Oh, this movie is also exactly as bad as Sex and the City 1, by the way. Will we have a movie that is worse than Rambo 4 at any point? We've got 5 movies to go, but we're already in 22. If it continues this trend...
In this franchise, I don't know, but like I'm certain that we can come up with others that will be. I think the thing that made Rambo distinct was the like gore, and I don't think this franchise has got that in it, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rambo is still Rambo 4 is still leading on 36 points.
I mean, it's gonna be hard to top. It's gonna be so hard to top.
The actual war crimes footage, but that's Fast 5. Our next bonus episode, if you want to subscribe to the Patreon, which you should do.
Fuck yeah, subscribe to the Patreon. We're doing Armageddon. It was Abby's pick.
Yeah, baby.
Fuck yes.
Truckers in space.
Yeah. Truckers in space. Space truckers.
John McClane in space.
Isn't it easier to train an astronaut to be a trucker than to train a trucker to be an astronaut? So subscribe to that, killjamesbond.com. Our next mainline episode is, of course, Fast 6.
Is that what it's called?
No, it's called Fast and Furious, I think. Or was that the
Fast
last
and
one?
Furious 6.
What the fuck is it called?
Okay.
No, it's Fast 5. It's Furious 7. Fast 5. Fast and Furious 6. Fate of the Fast.
It's the fate of the Fast and the Furious family fucking barbecue. Family. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, sorry.
And we will see you next time. Bye. Everyone.
Bye. Thank you for listening to yet another episode of Kill James Bond. The next mainline episode in 2 weeks' time on the free feed will be Fast 6, a movie that I tried to watch immediately after recording this one to sort of get ahead and prep. And I saw Gina Carano, and the thought of Gina Carano interacting with Gal Gadot on my screen, I couldn't do it. I wasn't strong enough. But I will have by the time that episode comes out, because I have to have done the episode. Just give me a minute. And if that is simply too long for you to wait, then you can head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/killjamesbond, where next week, Abby's pick for bonus episode is Armageddon. It's the one where Bruce Willis and his team of rapists basically have to go and drill into an asteroid that's coming straight towards Earth. Bad movie, great fun to watch, great episode. We've already recorded it. Look forward to that. And speaking, of course, of our Patreon, patreon.com/killjamesbond, sign up now for £5 a month to get 5 years worth of back episodes just in the palm of your hand. Go to the collections. There's so much back there. And they're all good episodes. I stand by them all. I agree with everything that I said. But of course, with that being said, we would be nothing without our £15 and above patrons. And those are Lobjornsdottir, Freya Aloysius, Candy Fox, No Name, Gustavo Lira, Elspeth Hunt, Jordan Gammy, Nick Boris, Frankenstein, Hannah Obart, The Asexual Pervert, George Rohak, Drone Lover, Yarrick Lefree or Crime, Melody Moro Gonzalez, Labor Delenda Est, I'm So Sweepy, Lexi the Feral Trucker, Winter of Content. Ian died 2 episodes ago, but was cool and they changed how time works for this one. Giganta0234, Library Hitman, Olivia Alexander, Willie Shinmeyer, Very Tired Therapist, Max Gemainhardt, Jack Drummond, Strong Goose, Kill James Bond Highlights, Saiga, Trip, Carl S, Joseph Soche. I heard Stephen Miller is a pedophile. Sorry, PDF file. I've lost for subtlety there. The Project, he's a pedophile though. Project, Panoptigoth, Future Boy, Meat Popsicle, Jacques Laurent Zimmerman, Rhododendron, on Knowledge and Belief, he's a pedophile. K May Be Okay, Athena V, Molly Powerslide, Ashley, full name time, Peoples, Pillow Princess, Dida, Didi, Danielle, Silly Vixen, Vida Brava, Chris Roth, Arizona Frog Strangler, My Best Friend, Parasocial Butterfly, I'm doing a bit, Claire, Joyce Uwu, Staz, May Victoria Roth turned in her badge and laptop, Liz Rossi, Claire Baker, help people, that's true. Robert De Niro in heat and I'm not apologizing. Penile sparing vaginoplasty. You should try a fighting game and really try it instead of just mashing about, maybe like Blaze Blue, Central Fiction, or Under 9. Science Daddy, Gender Swap Podcast, Ray, Anhedonia, some sort of silly Canadian family. Whoa. Cakeadon, Annie 5. Doctor, Mrs. the Gay Rat, Saturdays Claire, Finneros, Lady Houndstooth, Seeks 23, Anya, They Nanigans, Rope Trick, Clarification, Clairvoyance, John 2089, Liz Nash at University of Florida, Alex, Connor's Cool Big Sister, Wolscott, Lady Ariane, Sengshen, Isopodgal. Autism is classified as a neurodevelopmental disorder. What is your fucking username that? Obsidian Polymer, Noblesse Olai, Loz Pycock, Lauren Baston, Elite Erin, Cariad, The Duck Whisperer, Turfs Eat Shit and Die Alone, Mega B, Philippa is still catching up with KJB, Blunt Force Feminization, Bat, Mistress Angela Aylis, Abigail, Al Irwing, Harriet McAvoy, Witch Hazel, Josh Simmons, Zoe Shepherd, Talkative Tiger, Emily Queen of Sloths, Cassandra, Robert Greensmith, Charlotte with a D, Sonia with a Y, Dank George, Puppy Princess Reese transitioning between captors, Mortran, Envious NB, and Tiny Lily. Thank you all so much for your support. Kill James Bond is Abigail, November, and Devon. Our producer is the wonderful Miss Nate Bethea. Our podcast art is by John DeLuca. Our editor is Sam Martirosian. And we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.